You're listening to the Wally Show podcast. You can hear the live version every weekday morning through the WayFM app or following along with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where Wally teaches and where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. This podcast is also brought to you by United Faith Mortgage. Let their direct lender advantage save you time and money.
Uplifting WayFM.
If you're not careful, you might just learn something today.
Hi there. Is there a project you're working on?
I know more than you.
All right.
It's the Wally Show.
I wish I had paid more attention to history when I was in school, because the older I've gotten, the more I see how connections or confrontations from the past color the future. For example, we've seen millions of people flee Ukraine following the Russian invasion, and millions of these refugees have fled to Poland, and Poland welcomed them in, is helping them out. But what I didn't know is that during World War II, there was a massacre of Poles by Ukrainian nationals. So, yeah, and so now you flash forward to today, like the violence that happened there was between 1942 and 1945 under Nazi Germany occupation, and it still remains a point of contention, but for decades it was kind of a taboo theme, and it remained hard to discuss between the neighbors. Kind of like in Rwanda, the genocide there that happened because it was neighbors against neighbors kind of thing. It's still an undercurrent. We've moved on, but it's still an undercurrent there. I've been there and talked to people. But it's interesting that given their history, flash forward to today, and a different story is being told, which is really kind of cool. Like, now Poland, what they did recently was they marked the anniversary of this World War II massacre, which you would think, oh, is that a good idea? You've invited all these Ukrainians in, and now you're bringing up the past.
Right. It's awkward.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a weird family luncheon or something.
It's like having a fight when you had a friend over to dinner, you know, in front of them. And so, but they say that, you know, the reason that they're doing this is it can strengthen the bilateral ties in the future by being honest about this stuff and setting a new line to move forward from. And so, you know, there's some history there, but they're opening doors, and they open their doors to Ukrainians in need. And Poland's president said, let this truth, in fact, serve as the foundation for new relations between our nations and societies that both of our nations and our states need very much for the future in order to turn weakness into strength. And so it's like, they're rewriting the future now.
That's like a good life lesson for any of us.
Exactly. They say, like, if you do not learn from history, you're bound to repeat it. So I am super glad that they're acknowledging the past, making a conscious effort to move forward with compassion and generosity, rather than perpetuating the cycle of violence and hate that maybe was the history that they had.
Why are we wasting our time with these old people anyway?
Did you just call me old?
Uplifting WayFM. This is the Wally Show. We're going to play a game. You have a chance to win a WayFM prize pack right now. We're going to do a little famous ages, but you're going to have to do some attention paying, okay? That's how this works. We're going to try to stump each other with the ages of different celebrities or well-known people, and then we'll reveal their actual age. You just need to jot down the actual age, add them all together for the three people, and then if you get the right total, you can win a prize. I'm going to go last today because I've got the whammy. I've got the undoer. This is one where you'll be in first place, and then you'll hit mine, and it will take you out because this is golf rules, okay? So here we go. Let's start with you, Gavin.
Okay. I'm not sure if any of you guys are going to know this person because I didn't know them until just recently.
Wait a minute.
Her name is Elsa Pataki.
Is it Governor Pataki's wife?
No.
Okay. Or former Governor Pataki?
She is Chris Hemsworth's wife.
Oh.
But she's been in Fast and Furious movies, which are fantastic.
Oh, boo. Okay, she's Chris Hemsworth's wife. Now, I know Chris Hemsworth from Thor. I don't think he's going to marry a super old lady. But I also don't see him marrying a super young lady because he's kind of young himself.
Okay, what have you got?
I don't know. Oh, boy. I'm really on the fence because Hollywood guys typically marry younger women.
But I think I've looked some things up about his wife before.
Yeah.
And I know a couple of things, and I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, come on, help a brother
no,
out.
No.
Okay, I got my guess down.
What'd you say?
I said 42.
Oh.
Yeah, what'd you say?
I said 43.
Oh, no way, really?
Because I believe she is a little bit older than him.
But not much.
But not by much.
How old is he? Like in his 30s? Like 39 maybe? 38?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Age 38, actually.
Boy, I hope I'm on fire here. We're going to find out she's like 74.
That would be awkward. She's only 7 years older than him. She is 45.
Oh, 45.
45.
Okay.
Wow, Rock,
okay.
you're closer than me, so you're
was
in
right.
the lead. Okay. Well, you get to go next. So remember, write down Pataki. What is her name?
Elsa Pataki.
Elsa Pataki
Elsa
at
Pataki.
45. Okay.
All right. Mine is Ryan Gosling.
Oh, he looks so young. But is he?
Is he?
I don't know. He's
Man, that's a great question because he's been acting for such a long time.
He was on Mickey Mouse Club.
I always get him
Oh, yeah.
confused with Ryan Reynolds. Like those two are kind of interchangeable to me, face wise. Oh
Man, it's in my brain. I'm like, is he that close to 50? Is he close to 50? I don't feel like he is.
when
and I also feel like time would be good to him if
Yeah.
he's close to
Yeah.
50.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, now she's trying to throw you off. Now she's trying to throw you off.
I'm just going to go with what I had in my brain.
Okay, I have mine. Oh, I whenever I'm not sure, I go with my last answer, I guess. And so I went with 42 again.
Oh,
okay.
I stay with the same thing. Betty looks
Consistent.
happy about that.
I'm going to go with 44.
Okay. How old is Ryan?
Come
Gosling?
on.
He is 41.
Oh, okay. I'm actually in the hunt for this today. I am in the hunt. I could undo you guys with my guess
still
coming
winning,
up.
though.
You
I'm
are
still
still
winning.
winning. Betty has 2 points. Gavin 3 points. I have 4, but my guess is coming up. So
I know.
make sure you're paying attention. Write those down. Elsa Pataki and Ryan Gosling, 45 and 41. Write those two numbers down, and then when we get to mine here in 10 minutes, you'll have a chance to win a prize. So here we go. Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Yes. That's right. He's been in the news a lot lately.
Has
He had
he?
to resign.
Yes, he has.
They're,
Oh, wait. I think I know who you're talking about. He's got the crazy white hair.
yeah, it looks like Nick Nolte.
He
I don't know who that
does.
is either.
All right, so get your guesses down
man.
for Boris Johnson. Everybody.
All
Betty Rock is in. Gavin, what did you say?
Oh, I don't want to go first. 63.
63.
I have a feeling
Okay.
he'll be just a little older than that.
Okay.
Oh, I said 58.
You said
Okay.
58.
I'm not that confident.
Gavin is off and out of the running now.
Oh.
Gavin is off by 5 years.
Bummer.
So he lost. Man, I don't like you, Betty.
What? Am I right?
Did you Google this?
No, honestly.
Because you got it right on the
Honest-
money.
I did.
Did
It's
she really?
58. Yeah.
I'm really good at this game.
I guess you
I'm
are.
so good at it.
I should have won this game. This was mine to win
It
today.
was.
I
And
won.
she didn't know who it was at first.
No, the guy with white hair, well, shoot fire. I guess he's 58. And she nails it. Congratulations, Rock. All right,
Thank
so
you. Thank
add
you.
Boris Johnson's 58 years to the other two that we mentioned in the first segment, and you can win a prize, a Way FM prize back right now. 855-33 Way FM. When you call, I'm probably going to be a little angry. I haven't gotten over this yet. I should have won that. 855-33 Way FM.
Why are we wasting our time with these old people anyway?
Did you just call me old?
Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. I'm super sad today, Anne-Marie, because I thought I was going to win Famous Ages, but I feel better now talking to you because you have a chance to win, and kind of that'll be a win for me as well. I'll get to partner with you in this win. So we revealed the ages of 3 different well-known personalities, and they were Elsa Pataki, which is Chris Hemsworth's wife, Ryan Gosling, and Boris Johnson. How old were all of those people when added together?
144.
144 is wonderful, and you are right. Nicely done.
Thank you.
You paid attention. You have math skills, so you have won. You have done what I was unable to do, and that was win the game.
You did come close.
I did. I should have. But you know what? Betty Rock is a savant at this. She's
I
actually really
am.
good at this game. So let's see
She's
how
great
good
at it, yes.
Betty is now here. We always like to try to guess your age, Anne-Marie, just for some fun. So we only have like one question, though. We're going to try and figure it out from here. Betty Rock?
All right, so Anne-Marie, what is the app on your smartphone that you use the most?
She's like, what's a smartphone? You're 75.
Well, the truth is, I don't do any social media, and I don't use many apps. But if I have to, I use Maps.
Maps. Okay, she used Maps instead of MapQuest.
Okay, this says a lot.
Could be a little distracting, though, because the app I use most, and I'm only 53, is Yahtzee. I play Yahtzee all the time.
I'd be thinking, oh, he's 89.
Exactly. All right, so she uses
Maps a lot. Okay, I'm going to say Anne-Marie is 47, solely based on the sound of her voice and the sole fact that Maps is the only app she uses.
Okay, and I went a little older than that because old people like to know where they're going, and and my wife is this way. And not that she's old.
That's what she said.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to go with my wife's age, 53.
You are on the money.
Oh, so good! I finally won
Wow! Look at that.
And it's funny because in 3 days I'll be 54, but you guessed it right on today.
Nice. A real quick question, too, to see how much alike you are with my wife. Do you actually have an atlas in your car, like a hard copy of Maps?
It's funny. I just got rid of that about a year ago.
Yeah, I know. See, my wife has one. I'm like, you have a $1,000 map finder in your phone, and like you're holding it, but she likes maps. So congratulations, Anne-Marie, on the win.
Thank you.
You are the big winner today on Famous Ages.
Woo!
Thank you guys for everything you do. Have a great day.
Coffee shops, poolside, back porch, picnic table at the park, at your kid's soccer practice. Just about anywhere can be your classroom when you decide to go back to school online at Colorado Christian University.
I know I got my degree online, and I actually did a homework at a campsite. I was sitting around a campfire writing a paper. That is where I did some of my work that weekend. So life doesn't have to stop just because you go back to school to better yourself. You can work towards this future and this goal that you want to accomplish, and it doesn't have to totally consume you or derail your normal life with friends, your family, or what have you.
And you can earn accredited degrees from Colorado Christian without ever setting foot on campus.
So there really shouldn't be an excuse to not going back to school. If it's something you really want to do, you can do it. And all you have to do is go to ccu.edu/Wally to learn more. And the other really important thing is that Colorado Christian is committed to cultivating the mind without compromising the heart. So check it out, ccu.edu/Wally.
Uplifting Way FM.
Stories served with a side of Southern sass.
You're breaking my hair.
I mean charm. Here's Betty Rock.
If you found yourself confronted by a bully that wanted to fight, who would you ask to come with you to be your ride or die?
Ooh, probably Betty. If I have to choose between Betty and Gavin, I'm sorry, dude.
I know it's the right decision.
I know. Thank you. Thank you for that. I've tussled with Betty before, like goofing around, like kind of fighting and stuff. And when she gets trapped or in a situation where she thinks she's going to lose, she gets wiry and like superhero strength all of a sudden.
I have elbows that could pierce lungs.
Absolutely, you
Definitely, yeah. Well, a new TikTok trend has parents faking this very scenario with their kids. They go to their kids and they say, hey, there's a lady down the street that her and her kid want to fight, and I need you to help me. And so to me, some of the response...
That's kind of messed up.
It is a little messed up, but here's what the messed up part is. The hilarious responses that some of the kids have, because some of them don't even ask questions.
Yeah.
They just put on their shoes and they're just ready to throw hands.
I'm going to go fight this girl, and if her son comes out, I need you to fight him. Okay.
Kid's like, okay, Mom,
And then
this
one's great.
That kid's like, I was probably going to beat that kid up anyway, so now it's okay.
Will you fight her?
Mm-hmm. You know what? I'll just punch her in the jaw.
Oh,
in the jaw.
What in the world? Like, I like if you're a parent, you're like, I'm really happy that my kid wants to just do what I say and protect me and go with me. But then you're like, okay, I've got a little psychopath here. Like, I'm raising a killer.
Right, one that doesn't even ask questions on whether this is a right or wrong response, but they're just ready to hit someone in the jaw.
I know. We all need a ride or die. I get that. We all need that in our lives.
But should it be your 5-year-old?
It should not be your
know.
5-year-old. Not one of the better trends on TikTok for sure. Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. And kids are great because they're super honest and they'll just tell you what they think. And they're not all jaded and stuff. And so I love talking to kids, you know. I like because if you listen to them, sometimes there's a bit of profoundness that comes out of them.
Yeah, they're able to simplify things when
Yes.
we as grown-ups make things so complicated.
Absolutely. And now, Gavin, you're working with your youth at church, right?
Yes, sometimes every other week or so I'll go and I'll lead the youth group. It's like the junior high and the high schoolers.
Yeah.
And I was really taken aback one time when I was asking some of them, how's your weekend? These two girls are 12. I was like, how's your guys' weekend go? And they said, oh, we spent yesterday serving at this lady at our church's house because she is living alone. She doesn't have anyone to take care of it. And so they were over at her house taking care of a lot of the outdoor stuff. And I'm like, oh, cool.
And then they're like, what'd you do, Gavin? I played Fortnite for 8 hours. You're like, who is the kid here?
Not far off. But I was like, oh, who organized that for you? They're like, oh, no, it was our idea. And I was like, oh,
that's awesome.
You're making me feel bad about
I know.
myself
And
right
how
now.
old are they?
They're like 12 years old. So in my
Golly.
head, I'm like, oh, I think I can do like not better per se, but I was like, oh, I can do.
You could learn something from them.
If they can do that, if they can take their own time to go and serve and do something like that, then what more can I do as a 26-year-old with more resources
and a car?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, they had to have their parents work out rides for them, you know? Like, they were multitasking. So I do believe this. Look, I've had so many conversations with my kid, even when she was little, and she just had an insight sometimes into faith where I would be frustrated or mad by something or, you know, not fully understanding something. And she just had this, like you had said earlier, Betty, a simplified version of it or vision of it, and you're like, that is really, really smart, and I'm gonna learn from you. Okay, it's just this once. I'm
don't get a big head.
Yeah, I'm still in control. I don't want to. We're not flipping the script that much here. So let's talk about this with you. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. What is that thing that you learned from your kids? And maybe it's a spiritual lesson. Maybe it was something that you were struggling with and you learned about faith from them. That would be extremely cool because I know that happens.
And like you were saying, you know, from your kids, and that could be true, but like Gavin, you know, he doesn't have any kids, but with his youth group, he actually learns. So it's from someone else's kids, just kids in general.
855-33-WAY-FM is the number. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take your stories right now. Has that ever been the case for you, Desiree?
Yes. Several years ago, my oldest son was playing a youth football game, and he was injured and couldn't feel anything from his chest down.
Oh, wow.
And you know, you've got kids, you understand.
Yeah.
And we got him in an ambulance. One of the parents said, don't worry, we'll bring your youngest son to you. You just go. And so when we got there, they checked him out. A few minutes later, probably 20 or 30 minutes later, my youngest son was there, and I went out into the waiting room to meet him. And I said, honey, Robert's going to be just fine. And he goes, I know, Mama. I've been praying. He didn't panic. He prayed. And I was just dumbstruck. I didn't know what to say to him. And he said, Mama, my Sunday school teacher always says if we pray about it, God's going to hear us.
Wow, that's amazing. And that just underscores, too, the importance of us as parents putting Jesus into our kids, our Sunday school teachers, the role that they play in the lives of our kids, and to have that kind of faith. Now, I'm sure he's taking credit for it, and, like, the next time his older brother does something bad, remember, like, when I healed you?
Remember when I prayed for you? I could have, yeah.
That's right. That could have gone way different. Don't mess with me. The big man listens. So, Jenna, have you ever learned something maybe about faith even from your kids?
Yeah, so I'm a school guidance counselor at a faith-based school, but I went into a classroom and I was teaching a lesson on fear, and, you know, one of the takeaway points was that God's always with us and we can rely on Him. And a couple days later, a mom reached out to me to tell me that her kids had come home that evening to say, you know what, Mom, we don't need the light on at bedtime tonight because Miss Long says God's always with us. You know, obviously they took home the message that I was trying to teach, but to me, I think as adults, we have a harder time knowing that and trusting God. But, to them, they just took it and they trusted. And I just thought that was so incredible. And, I need to trust God more too. And so it was just one of those awesome moments that, the teacher was being taught at the same time. So.
Right, exactly. And I think, too, what's really cool is that as adults, we take what we hear from like a pastor or a counselor and we kind of criticize it a little bit, or we let our jaded selves kind of think, well, I'll take this part, but maybe not that part. But I think when a kid is so innocent and they just take it for face value, just exactly what you said, and then they put it into action, that says a lot to us. That can teach us a lot as adults to just, you have to walk by faith, and kids find that so easy.
Yeah.
They've inspired me. I'm getting rid of my nightlight.
Wow,
Yeah.
good job, Wally.
Big steps, big faith over here.
Wow.
I saw that going differently in my mind.
Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. It's time for Mind Blown!
Mind blown!
Mind Blown! This is where I want to make you the most interesting person in any room that you are in by giving you mind-blowing facts that you can cycle through and pull out. And in the middle of random conversations, you just have to look for that opening when someone says something, you go, I got this. Like, say we were at a party and we were talking about travel, for example, because a lot of people talk about that kind of stuff at parties. And Gavin, you're engaged. We're having a conversation, and you ask me something.
Yeah, I'm telling you about the road trips I've been on recently. And when you're on road trips, you tend to see, things like landmarks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any landmark-related facts?
I actually do. I'm glad you brought that up. Have you ever seen the Golden Gate Bridge?
Yes, I have.
It's beautiful.
Massive.
It's an engineering work of art. Do you know that the work on the Golden Gate Bridge, the restoration of it and the maintenance of it never stops? It's a 365 thing. They start painting it one direction. By the time they get there, they got to start doing the other thing.
Painting?
Yeah, everything. Yeah, it just
Wow.
it never stops. But speaking of painting, I'm glad you brought that up. Do you know that early on when the Golden Gate Bridge was first built, the military did not want it to be that orangish red color. They wanted it to be yellow and black striped.
Why?
Because it would be more visible. So they thought that people would have a problem seeing it and it could be dangerous, and so they wanted it yellow and black striped. Now, some people that were happy about that, obviously Striper, would have been elated. They would have shot every music video on the Golden Gate Bridge, so that would have been great. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, little known fact there. And so
Maybe
Betty Rock.
Maybe it's a good thing that it wasn't. Okay, so we're in this conversation, and you can tell by my face that I'm scolding at y'all because you both led me in a wrong direction. I recently saw the new Jurassic Park movie and highly disappointed, and neither of you warned me. You both said, oh, it's a great movie.
We said it's a good dinosaur movie.
And it wasn't even that. So, to redeem yourself, tell me something good about movies.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Now, it was a blockbuster movie. It was a big deal, and it made a lot of money, but that means nothing to you because you did not like it.
It was terrible.
Yeah. Do you know that we call movies blockbusters because this term was used earlier in life? It wasn't coined just for the movies. That's what I've always thought. But it was actually first used in World War II. Yeah, it was actually a term for a blockbuster was giant bombs. That would basically level neighborhoods. Blockbusters. They'd level blocks. And so they were called blockbusters. And then that term for something that was massive became a term we use for the movies to describe a big hit.
That's a little horrifying to know.
Yeah.
Right.
Gavin's scared. Betty's interested. That's how you do Mind Blown. When you walk away from every conversation, you want one person to be terrified and one person to be mesmerized. The other night I found myself not able to sleep, and it wasn't because of stress. Hey, it's Wally. I actually couldn't sleep because I was so happy that I'd made the decision to do a cash-out refinance with United Faith Mortgage. I used some of the refinance money to build my dream barbecue in my backyard, but then I was thinking it really should have a pergola over it. But instead of stressing about the money, I started dreaming about what I could build over it. That's the beauty of a cash-out refinance. You get to unlock the equity sitting in your home and dream a little. Maybe travel to some exotic places like Italy. Greeley or Des Moines, depending on how much equity you have. You could also use it for something responsible like paying off debt. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. The reality is we don't really know what the future holds, so I'm happy to be sitting on a cash infusion right now. Since home values are still so high, it could be a great time to do a cash out refinance. So figure out what your barbecue grill is and then call my friends at United Faith Mortgage. Start online, call anytime. UnitedFaithMortgage.com.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Uplifting Way FM. He's wise beyond his years.
I can't really tell, but it seems like he's very good.
Here's Gavin.
If there's one thing that can unite us all as people, it's the excitement that we feel when we see that grayish blue Amazon truck pull up in front of our house. I'd say even when we haven't ordered anything.
You just hope. You didn't order, and you hope that they're somehow coming to you for something.
I don't think I'd be stretching when I say it's Christmas on wheels.
Yeah. It's the closest I think we can get to being kids on Christmas morning.
Right,
again, is Amazon showing up. And speaking of Amazon, starting today and then actually technically running through tomorrow night, it's Amazon Prime Day.
Hey.
Or I guess Amazon Prime 2 days, I guess. So they said that the top things that people bought last year were health and beauty products, electronics, clothes, household essentials, pretty much the bare, simple stuff. And we were talking just a few minutes ago that some of us here in the studio are kind of in a buying mood.
Yeah.
Right now.
I don't know why, but I just feel like I need to start buying anything and everything. And I am actually on Amazon.
This is a bad day for you because there'll be deals on things you do not need.
I don't, and I'm going to regret it a week from today.
Absolutely.
But still.
You know what? I'm going to take your computer from you.
No.
I am, as a friend.
No.
Yeah, this is just kind of like an intervention, actually.
No.
But I get that. There'll be times where I have to look a little deeper into it. Like, there'll be times where I'm like, I don't really have anything planned today. Well, let's jump on Amazon and see what's there. And before you know it, you're like, add to cart for no reason. You have to,
it's so bad.
Yeah, you buying because you're bored, kind of thing. And so you have to watch out for that, especially on days like Amazon Day, where you think you need that giant extra large air fryer,
but
even though you already have one.
No, I need the bigger one.
Exactly. So there you go. Be careful for the next 2 days with your Amazon Prime days.
Yeah.
But, sometimes you get some deals, too. Maybe get some early Christmas shopping done.
They say that that Prime Day isn't quite as good as Black Friday sale. So if you really, really need something, maybe just take a break, wait a couple more months until Black Friday. But if you're Betty and you just need to spend your money on cat toys and candles on Amazon, today's the day.
There you go. Well, have fun with that today, Rock.
If I could save time in a bottle.
Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. It's Time Capsule Tuesday, where we're going back in time a little bit. We've picked a year, and then each of us have picked a song from that year that we really liked. And you get to decide on which of those songs gets played. You make the call. You hear a couple of the hooks, and you go, oh, no, I remember this song. That was great. We're going to start with you, Gavin. We're going all the way back to the year 2000, when Gavin would have been 4 years old.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I was quite a toddler at this point, and I was at this point starting to understand music, and I was growing up on the music we listened to. Grew up with Casting Crowns and all of them.
Sure.
And this song is by Sonic Flood. It's called I Want to Know You. And this does take me back to my car seat days.
Okay.
Of hearing this music.
I want to know you. I want to hear your voice. I want to know you more.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a real good offering.
It's a youth group days for sure.
When I first got here in 2005, maybe, we were still playing this song.
Oh, yeah?
And I didn't know anything really about Christian music. I'd had a big gap of faith in my life, so I had no idea what this stuff was. I thought it was DC Talk for the longest time. So I'm like, that's Sonic Flood?
We're all learning something.
Exactly. All right, year 2000, Betty Rock.
All right, I'm going to the pop side of things. Stacey or Rico's Don't Look at Me.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We also played this song, and this was a guilty pleasure of mine. Sounds a little Britney Spears-ish, doesn't it?
It does, and I think that's what she was trying to channel.
Yeah, and this was a guilty pleasure. I love this song. I back in the 2000s, though, decided to go with a huge song, a big song, kind of a Celine Dion of Christian music song.
That's a big statement.
Nicole C. Mullen. This was one of her huge hits back in the day, My Redeemer.
Well, I know my Redeemer lives.
It's good stuff.
Slow, man.
My Redeemer.
Yeah, but it builds and it gets
So
big. And you had every woman in your church choir that wanted to solo on this. So, all right. So what do you say? You get to make the call. Majority rules on this one. 855-33-WAY-FM. What song do you want to hear more of right now? Is it Sonic Flood? Stacey Orico? Or Nicole C. Mullen? You make the call right now. 855-33-WAY-FM. This is the Wally Show. Tina, we are doing Time Capsule Tuesday. Now, you've heard the 3 songs, Sonic Flood, I Want to Know You, Stacey Orico, Don't Look at Me, or Nicole C. Mullen, My Redeemer Lives. Which song do you want to hear?
Absolutely, Nicole C. Mullen's My Redeemer Lives.
Yeah, that's a good one, is it not?
Okay, so it's not only a good one, it was the Song of the Year Dove Award winner.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So you sound like a Christian music fan.
I am. It's actually the song that brought me to Nashville.
Oh, how come?
I worked at a Christian retail store as a music buyer, and I went to work at Word Records because of that song.
No way.
Wow.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take you back in time to the year 2000 here, and you can relive some of those great days of early Christian music and your first gig in the Christian music industry. With Nicole C. Mullins, My Redeemer Lives, on Time Capsule Tuesday here on WayFM.
Thank you.
Who taught the sun where to stand in the morning? And who told the ocean you can only come this far? And who
Uplifting WayFM, this is the Wally Show, and I should know better, but like every meeting that we go to, somebody is trying to take a picture of me in that meeting because I'm not a good meeting person. I get distracted. I fall asleep sometimes.
And this recent meeting that we went to is no exception. So I didn't capture the picture, but I'm so glad someone was looking out for me. Pastor Chad was over on the other side of the room, and he took the picture and then sent it to me. But you can see the picture on our Facebook or Instagram. Just search Wally Show, and you'll see it there. But Wally is in a chair, and he's slouched, kind of leaning back, and he's got his laptop open, but the screen is resting on his forehead while he's got the bottom part of, like, the keyboard part resting on his chest. And I can't tell if you're asleep or if you're deep in thought.
No, I was not asleep. I was done. Like I
was just done.
Yeah, I was just done. We have conversations sometimes that have nothing to do with us and the show or whatever we got to do, and it's just a long meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And then when things get debated at nauseum, and I'm just like, oh, I just put my computer over my head because I was just tired.
Well, I'm reading a couple of the comments that people left on Facebook and Instagram. Allison said, he's thinking, quote, this meeting could have been an email.
Absolutely. That meeting can always be an email. We go through this. And I know I'm the cranky old guy, but it's like, well, we've got this new system now. We're all going to be able to cohabitate and work and stuff like that. I'm like, if you need something from me, just email me or walk down the office and ask me. I'm more than happy to help you. I'm not learning another system.
Yeah. Right. Drea, she said, maybe it's time for bifocals.
No, yeah, I was very close to it, yeah.
Sarah said, is he wearing his wife's skinny jeans again?
No.
So not even commenting on you and your computer.
Yeah.
It's your fashion sense.
Yeah, not my wife's. They're mine, and I wear them proudly.
And then Greg said maybe he's resting his eyes or praying.
You know
I can
what?
tell you, Greg, he's definitely not praying.
I should have gone with praying instead of being honest with it. Like, I see Pastor Chad asleep in his office all the time.
Oh!
Because he's the prayer pastor, they just assume he's more godly than
Uh-huh.
me. He's doing the same thing.
He's throwing hands.
Yeah, trust me, he's doing the same thing as me. All right, if you want to see the picture, we got it on our socials.
Yeah, just go to facebook.com/Wally Show or go to Instagram and search Wally Show. You'll see it right there.
There you go. And feel free to comment and make us laugh as well. Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show, and we just kicked off something really cool. It's our world's biggest baby shower, and it's a chance for you to help out some moms in need. You know, recently we had that big shortage of formula for moms across the country, which was a problem, but there are other moms that need formula, they need diapers, they need wipes, and those kind of things, and you can help out by simply, you know, purchasing some of those things. You're out running errands anyway, and maybe you haven't had a kid in a long time, and you're like, you know what, I can help out a mom in need. I've raised mine, and I want to do this.
And maybe you have some stuff left over. Maybe you're like, I know I'm not having another kid, so let's get rid of this stuff. And you know, too, like Wally was mentioning, they're collecting diapers, but of any size, and also pull-ups as well. Sometimes the kids that are trying to be potty trained, those pull-ups get forgotten.
Yeah, because everybody, you know, it's like, oh, we need help for babies, and they always get newborn diapers. But then there are moms that need bigger diapers for bigger kids as well. And I was a chunky baby, so I needed big diapers. And so you can help out with that, and it's really easy to do if you want to get involved.
Yeah, if you want to find out where the nearest drop-off location is from you, then just text the word baby to 91979. That's baby to 91979. We'll send you a link with all the drop-off locations and your way to support.
Yeah, we just started this yesterday, and Becca got all excited. She does middays, and she got all excited. She's like, we just got some of the dropped off stuff, you know, and so it's like a fun thing to do and be part of. And don't drop off your kid, though. It's not a daycare. Just drop off diapers, wipes, formula, that kind of stuff.
I don't think that had to be specified. But
you know what? For dads, it had to be. Dad's like, I heard you could drop off a baby. That's all I heard. That's what I did. So it's our world's biggest baby shower. Just text the word baby to 91979. All right, potties, you're making a difference because of you and the people that listen to the show on Way FM terrestrially, if you want to call it that. We have sent over 47,000 meals to the people that are struggling in Ukraine after they've been displaced because of the war. That is pretty stinking amazing. And I love the fact that you're getting to partner with us in ministry right now in a very tangible way. You're not only helping feed people, but you're also making sure that they get the gospel as well. So thank you so much. But sadly, as the war stretches on, the need is still there and becoming greater. Here's the great news, though. It only takes 25 cents to send one meal. So for about the cost of a dinner out for you and your family, you could make sure that a couple hundred meals are sent to Ukrainian refugee families. Can you imagine what a relief that is for moms who have no idea how they're going to feed their kids from day to day? This is truly ministering to the orphans and widows, like the Bible says in James. And we'd love to keep that going and send another 25,000 meals to Ukraine in just the next couple weeks. I'm in. I'll never ask you to do something I'm not willing to do myself. So if you want to help out, just text the word Wally to 91999. And again, thank you so much for even considering this. And let's make a difference. Let's do something huge today. Again, text the word Wally to 91999.
These are the least important stories out of Hollywood, but nonetheless entertaining. Here's Betty Rock with the least of these.
Just because you're considered good looking as a teen, that doesn't always mean time will be good to you and you'll age gracefully.
Trust me, I know. Okay, I wasn't considered good looking as a teen either.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Whoa. You're putting yourself in one of those categories.
Put the brakes on.
A bunch of women were recently asked whether a celebrity who was considered hot back in the early 2000s is still crush-worthy some 20 years later.
Okay.
So here's what we found out. Some guys that still have it include Paul Rudd.
Yeah, a lot of people like Paul Rudd. I think Paul Rudd's pretty cool. I like him.
Do you want to elaborate?
Not really.
He's just pretty cool.
Yeah.
Orlando Bloom.
Oh, Orlando Bloom is striking. Like, yes, he held up better than Johnny Depp.
He's got perfect hair.
Yeah, Johnny Depp got a little haggard. Got a little Merle Haggard on him.
A little rough around the edges.
Yeah, he did.
And lastly, Mario Lopez.
Oh,
I'm
man.
going to disagree on this one. To me, I'm not a fan.
Mario Lopez and Selena Gomez should be together because
Why?
they both still look like children. Like Mario Lopez, I think looks young still.
He does, but I wouldn't put him as crush-worthy.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't even like on Saved by the Bell. Like you had to go Zach Morris on that, right? Am I right? Anyone? Am I alone?
No comment.
Bueller?
Is this on?
Now, some celebrities that didn't make the cut, that they were considered hot back
As
in
a
the day,
teen, okay.
but now 20 years later, not so much. Ashton Kutcher.
Oh.
He was considered back in the day?
Yeah, like
Oh,
back
look
in
at her.
that 70s show.
Yeah,
I think he always
yeah,
looked
yeah.
a little goofy.
I don't really think he's all that bad looking still.
Yeah, I thought he was always kind of corny.
Nick Lachey from 98 Degrees boy band.
Yeah.
I never got that one.
No,
Not
me
from
either.
beginning or end.
No.
And then this is another one I don't understand, and I guess some people are now jumping on my bandwagon. Justin Timberlake. They thought he was cute 20 years ago,
Really?
but now
When he had
not
like
so
the
much.
frosted tips and
Oh,
everything?
No, he had what looked like someone poured ramen noodles on
Yes.
top of his head.
It's a great
Yeah.
description.
And they called it cute.
Yeah,
It
JT.
just never was.
Yeah.
But he was big with NSYNC.
Yeah, I can see that.
He was the one everyone liked.
I think the Biebs got worse over time, too.
No,
You
don't
missed
say
the
that.
wavy
I do.
haircut?
The swoosh haircut kid. Yeah.
Because he got all tatted up.
Yeah.
And by tatted, I mean like
Tatted,
everything.
yeah.
A ton of stuff.
Yeah. Well, the good thing of spending your life as a non-good-looking teen and as a non-good-looking adult, there's about a plus side, is you don't let anybody down. Like
There's no expectation.
Exactly. That and you know what, Lord, I thank you for that every day. All right, that's gonna do it for your least of these.
These are the least important stories out of Hollywood, but nonetheless entertaining. Here's Betty Rock with the least of these.
Just because you're considered good looking as a teen, that doesn't always mean time will be good to you and you'll age gracefully.
Trust me, I know. Okay, I wasn't considered good-looking as a teen
Oh,
either.
like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Whoa, you're putting yourself in one of those categories.
Put
Hold
the
on.
brakes on.
A bunch of women were recently asked whether a celebrity who was considered hot back in the early 2000s is still crush-worthy some 20 years later.
Okay.
So here's what we found out. Some guys that still have it include Paul Rudd.
Yeah, a lot of people like Paul Rudd. I think Paul Rudd's pretty cool. I like him.
Do you want to elaborate?
Not really.
He's just pretty cool.
Yeah.
Orlando Bloom.
Oh, Orlando Bloom is striking. Like, yes, he held up better than Johnny Depp.
He's got perfect hair.
Yeah, Johnny Depp got a little haggard. Got a little Merle Haggard on him.
A little rough around the edges.
Yeah, he did.
And lastly, Mario Lopez.
Oh,
I'm
man.
going to disagree on this one. To me, I'm not a fan.
Mario Lopez and Selena Gomez should be together because
Why?
they both still look like children. Like Mario Lopez, I think looks young still. Like
He
think
does, but I wouldn't put him as crush-worthy.
no, he wasn't. He wasn't even like on Saved by the Bell. Like you had to go Zach Morris on that, right? Am I right? Anyone? Am I alone?
No
Bueller?
comment.
Bueller?
Is this on?
Now, some celebrities that didn't make the cut, that they were considered hot back
As
in
a
the day,
teen, okay.
but now 20 years later, not so much. Ashton Kutcher.
Oh,
He was considered back in the day?
Yeah, like
Oh,
back
look
in
at her.
that 70s show.
I
yeah.
think he always
yeah,
looked
yeah.
a little goofy.
I don't really think he's all that bad looking still.
Yeah, I thought he was always kind of corny.
Nick Lachey from 98 Degrees boy band.
Yeah.
I never got that one.
No,
Not
me
from
either.
beginning or end.
No.
And then this is another one I don't understand, and I guess some people are now jumping on my bandwagon. Justin Timberlake. They thought he was cute 20 years ago,
Really?
but now
When he had
not
like
so
the
much.
frosted tips and
Oh,
everything?
No, he had what looked like someone poured ramen noodles
Yes.
on top of his head.
It's a great
Yeah.
description.
And they called it cute.
Yeah,
It
JT.
just never was.
Yeah.
But he was big with NSYNC.
Yeah, I can see that.
He was the one everyone liked.
I think the Biebs got worse over time, too.
No,
You
don't
missed
say
the
that.
wavy
I do. The
haircut?
swoosh haircut kid. Yeah.
Because he got all tatted up.
Yeah.
And by tatted, I mean like
Tatted,
everything.
yeah.
A ton of stuff.
Yeah. Well, the good thing of spending your life as a non-good-looking teen and as a non-good-looking adult, there's about a plus side, is you don't let anybody down. Like
There's no expectation.
Exactly. That and you know what, Lord, I thank you for that every day. All right, that's gonna do it for your least of these.
So, Irene, what was that thing you're glad you did on your own despite not having company?
I traveled to another country all by myself.
Oh, okay. That could be a little scary. Where'd you go?
I went to Montreal, Canada.
Canada doesn't count as another country.
Yes, it does.
Doesn't even count as a destination.
Oh, good grief.
Oh, no, that's really cool. So how old were you when you did this?
This was like literally about a couple of months ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So what was it that you just couldn't get your friends' calendars to mesh with yours, or was it something that you actually wanted to do on your own?
Well, literally, I was in Massachusetts, and I didn't realize that Canada was literally 5 hours away. So I was like, oh, when I realized it, I said, why not go? So I decided just to make a trip out of it. It was pretty awesome. One of the best trips I've had.
Would you do it again?
Ever. Yeah, I told myself if I could live in anywhere, I would live in Canada. But, the whole family thing, that's important. So, and they would move there, so.
Yeah, if you spend a lot of time alone, my only advice is just don't watch a lot of Discovery Channel, like Investigation ID Channel.
Oh, don't do that.
So what was the last thing you went and did by yourself?
I went and attended a new church.
Oh, that can be a little daunting, right, Rock?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's one of the worst because churches are all about family and being together. But if you're single, you really just don't know where you belong in all that.
It can be a little intimidating.
For sure. Did it end up good? Were people nice to you and stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I started Mosaic in Clarksville, Tennessee. And, from the minute you get there, they're so inviting. And, if anybody doesn't have a home church, I would highly recommend them. They're all amazing.
We learned something that a church did. This strategy was amazing. This lady called the other day, and she was on the covert greeting team. So they have the greeters with tags that talk to everybody, but then they have another layer of greeters that are just milling about, and when they see somebody that they think is alone or needs to be talked to, they casually talk to them. So they're still in the greeting team, but it's not as formal, like, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the church. It's more like informal. I thought it was ingenious.
It really is.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you took a chance, and it sounds like you might have found a home church. That's awesome.
Yes, I'm definitely glad I did.
All right, Alan, you're up. What is that thing you did by yourself, but you're glad that you did?
Well, it wasn't something that I did. It's something my mother-in-law did. So she was going to go on a cruise with a best friend, and her best friend bailed on her. And so normally she would not do anything like that. In fact, I offered to go with her so that she could still go on the cruise. But she said, no, I'm going to go by myself. And so she did. She had a wonderful time. And then 3 months later, unfortunately, she passed away. She had a great time. It was one of the best things she's ever done, she said. And, we were all so proud of her for doing it. And, we still talk about it all the time. That was a great memory for her to have. She obviously didn't know she was going to have a stroke and pass away. And it just this wonderful memory that she had and a wonderful memory we have.
And now for some good news.
Uplifting Way FM. This here's the Wally Show. Got 3 rapid-fire good news stories coming at you designed to make you feel better about the world we live in because the news can be a little bit of a bummer. That's why we call it Good News Giddy Up. It's a bit of a roundup. Yes, sir, ma'am?
Wow. Yeah. I hope that people understood what you were saying.
I'm like Boomhauer. Gavin, go.
Oh, goodness, I was ready. A small bookstore in Detroit recently got fleeced out of $35,000 because somebody was using a fraudulent credit card.
Who spends $35,000 at a bookstore? That's amazing.
A bookworm.
I guess.
A bad bookworm.
And it almost put them out of business, but then the community, I love this, community stepped up to help. The owners started a GoFundMe to stay afloat. They ended up covering all of their losses. They raised just over $35,000, and then they stopped accepting donations. A few people gave $500 or more, but a lot of people just gave what they could at $10 or $20.
I like how a little bit of people doing, or a lot of people doing a little works. That's how support drives for Way FM works. A lot of people getting involved at different levels keeps us on the air. But I like that the owners, even though they started their own GoFundMe, they stopped it when it met the need and didn't go crazy. So that's kind of cool. Betty, good news, Giddy Up. Go.
A local bank in Arkansas, they heard their ATM meowing, and they're like, what's going on there? They call the cops. They come, open it up, and there's a little kitten, and he's not even a pound. He's dehydrated. Oh, no. Bless his little heart. He was just looking for a cool place to be out of the heat.
Or he was robbing the thing.
No, he was not. Stop it. They can never do wrong. Anyways, it was a little kitten, and they named him Cash.
Oh, that's nice.
Great. So anyways, he's at the pound, and they're taking care of him, getting his weight up so that he can be adoptable for a family.
That is good.
It's so cute.
And finally, there was a World War II vet in Queens that just celebrated his 103rd birthday.
Whoa.
And so his retirement home threw him a big party and stuff, and they did a story on him. And the reporter asked him, what's the secret to longevity? And he said, stay away from fast women and slow horses. That's such an old guy thing to say. Like, that's a roaring 20s kind of thing to say.
Well done.
I loved it. He said he was just joking. I chalked it up to good luck. So there you go. That's going to do it for your Good News Giddy Up.
Well, the podcast is over, but there's still the aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes, as well as connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online and United Faith Mortgage for supporting what we do.